Hey, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. Today we're getting into another Hot Wheels unboxing. This is of the 2012. It says new models. It's supposed to say the model name down there. 2012 new models. It is the 2012 Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca. Now, I bought this one way later from the time it came out because I had the red and black colorway of it, which is my favorite colorway, but I didn't know they made a blue colorway, and if I did, I probably would have purchased it. And one of the reasons why is because not only is this one of my favorite Hot Wheels cars, it's one of my favorite cars in general because I actually, when I got into cars, was in 2011, I bought a Mustang, 2012 Mustang. If I knew more about the cars at the time, I could have got me a Boss 302, not necessarily the Laguna Seca version, but the Boss 302. but me not knowing more about cars, I didn't, because it didn't have Bluetooth connection and it didn't have leather seating, which is what I wanted. And in my mind, I was like, well, visually the other ones look just as good. So I'll get one of the other ones and I'll just add some things to it that I like. Little did I know that afterwards I got so much into the car world that, going to car meets and this and that shortly after buying my car, that I was like, man, I wish I would have gotten the Boss 302, because I realized how important it was in the culture and in that space. So yes, this one shows all the information on the back, which I love. Specialty, it says originally produced in 1969 and 1970. The Boss is back in the base form of a 2011 Mustang GT. Think it was worth the wait. Some say it's the best Mustang ever. I completely love this car because, first off, the regular version, not the Laguna Seca version, but the regular version, which had the same, for the most part, if I'm not mistaken, it was the same horsepower and everything. The only difference is that the Laguna Seca version was a little more track ready in terms of its, I think, like the way that it was dialed in, certain things within it, which you could do that with the regular one as well. But then also too, it was lighter weight because they took the rear seats out of it. But as far as getting the regular version, this car cost $40,000 brand new, and its specs and track ready ability was off the charts for that time for a $40,000 car. And you were getting something that was so rare that at that time, I would say that it, at least for me, later on, after me realizing that, like, how big of a deal it was, I would say like maybe in 2000, maybe 14 or whatever, or even somewhere in 2012, I realized that this car, for the modern time, had like almost an Eleanor aspect of it to it in terms of its rarity. They only did it for 2012 and 2013. I like the 2012 version better because the body style is a little different, even though the 2013 one came with leather seats and all that Bluetooth stuff, the same stuff that I would have wanted in the 2012. It would have made me buy it. But in terms of visual look, and afterwards, I realized wouldn't have cared about those things after realizing how amazing the car was for legacy reasons and what it can do on a track and this and that. Just an amazing car. And it definitely, to me, is one of those cars that you easily could put this inside a movie and it will have that essence with it. The print here seems a little messed up on this side relative to this side, which is a lot more clear. That sometimes happens. Now these right here are showing, but there is the exhaust coming out from the sides, because this actually is quad exhaust. You had the two back here, and then these ones came to the side underneath, but they didn't have an opening here, so that's why you don't see it like that. They just were right underneath like the fender, and they dipped downward, so it's like you can't really see it, but it was there. Yeah, really nice. I love the body style. I love the 2011. Well, it was really the 2010 as well, but the 2010s had the same body style, but had different interior under the engine aspects of them. So the 2011, 2012, I'm really a big fan of their body designs more than any other body design. I just really loved it. They changed it a little bit in 2013 and 14. I like the rear better in those, but I didn't like the front better. It didn't have that kind of shaping like they have there. But honestly, like, this car to me is just legendary, and it's just amazing. And I don't think it even went up that expensive on the aftermarket after the fact, but I just really do feel that it was like just an amazing car. And it's the type of car to me that, you know, people who weren't a part of that era, I was a full adult by the time it came out, but I was, you know, in my younger years of an adult, where it was like, I don't want to say younger adult, but nonetheless, it was like, it was a point in time where I feel like there are phases that people go through with cars. There's when you're really young and you can't afford a car, and so you're into cars, that you put posters on your wall. And then there's that time frame where you can actually afford a car, and even if you don't get necessarily the dream car you want, the fact that you're in that space and you're grown, it has a different effect on you, because now you're part of the car culture, not just a fan of it. And so this being the car of my time when I was able to get into cars makes it such a thing to me, and I just love it. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna have a link down in the description down below for you guys to purchase on Amazon, if it's still available on Amazon. And as always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.